Hi everyone, it's Razavon Werder, aka Kelly Everts, the lady who strips for God and dances to save men's souls. I've been talking about the big subject of how to make it in show business, how to make it in life, and I've been talking about a very tiny, tiny little part of my life, how I got from New York to California, which was the first step on the leg of my journey to show business success, and also eventually I got into the spiritual success, but not because of that in particular, but you know, that's all part of my life, all part of my life. So I've been talking about Andre de DIENES, and I've been trying to get done with him because a lot of these men that I met were so sleazy, so perverted, so obnoxious, so egomaniacal that, and one of these was my brother Jimmy, which I talked about, and then another one was um, this guy, Andre de DIENES. He was sleazy. A lot of them, a lot of them. And I'm trying to like get it done. Just tell you the story, get it done, and damn, it's taking so long. I want to get away from them. I want to get away from them. But I have to remember them to tell you the story. I don't want to remember them. I don't forget them. But I have to tell you the story. Damn, God, help me get done with this. Help me, help me, help me. All right, so let me get the highlights. So he had rented his house to somebody because he's a cheapskate. So we couldn't stay at his house. He stayed at a motel, a couple of motels. I wanted to be a model very badly. He kept criticizing me. He said, "You're so skinny, you're so skinny." Yes, I was skinny. I weighed 117 pounds, 5'7", 117 pounds. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be 117 or even 127. What I wouldn't give. Even 137. What I wouldn't give. God, what I wouldn't give. So, of course, my breasts were half the size of what they are now. 117 pounds? Come on. So he kept saying, "Oh, your breasts are too small. You're skinny. Your breasts are small. You're just a B cup." That's what it was, a B cup. You're skinny, 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 skinny. You bastard. What do you expect from a 16-year-old girl? For her to be full, fleshed out? No, I'm a kid. I'm a kid. Well, I posed for him and he paid me, so and I don't remember if it was 1, 2, or 3 days, but I posed for him by the beach in a beautiful artistic settings. The pictures were lovely, but artistic, not sexy. And he paid me $60, so I had $60 to my name. Uh, so he would go places, and I would try to meet everybody. Again, I was networking. He told me he was going to do a layout of me in Playboy's Playmate of the Month, and I would be Miss Hawaii. I never been in Hawaii in my life, but that's how I looked to him, which I understand he was right, because my grandma was Mongolian, a Kazakh, so she was part Mongolian, so I've got this uh, Asian blood, so and I had dark hair, so he was right about that. He got that right on point. But it never came about because I couldn't get along with him. I wouldn't have sex with him. So he hated me. He hated me. And when he talks about Marilyn Monroe, and he talks about himself, he built, and I don't know who wrote the book, Marilyn Monroe, because I think it was a posthumous, but some of it sounds like he wrote it. But I think somebody else maybe wrote it and said he wrote it. I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know. But he made it sound like he and Marilyn Monroe were really close friends. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. But if you were in my skin, you would understand. When you get these guys, every one of them wants to have sex with you. Every one of them. And you don't want to have sex with them. And, like, what are you going to do? Just spread it for every guy you meet? Every guy that wants you? What are you going to do? So, sometimes you're forced into it, and you can't get out of it. So you have to. But try to not do it as much as you can, you know. So he was one of them that I get away from. But finally he said to me, I'm just dropping you off. He says to me, now I have no family, no friends, no nothing in California, nothing. I think I've gone over this before. And he knows. He knows. This is a grown man. This is a man in his 50s. This man knows that he is dropping off a vulnerable child who really has no money, no connections, no nothing. And he's dropping this child off on the street. And that is what he did to me. He dropped me off in Venice. Venice, at the time he dumped me, was 1961. It was a slum. It was next to Santa Monica, but that was before it got gentrified. It's like Williamsburg. When I lived in it, for a while, was a slum. Now it's gentrified, and the end of my living in Williamsburg, it became upgraded, and it became eventually a very artistic community, and then all the prices jumped up double, triple of the real estate. When I was leaving, I bought my house and I was leaving, and it became gentrified. Venice was like that. It was a slum. But that year, I met a guy in this construction business, and he said, we're going to rebuild this whole area. It's going to be beautiful. And it was. And so I heard. I didn't see it. I wasn't there later. So now it was a slum. So that's where he dropped me off, in a slum. It's a grown man dropping off a 16-year-old child with only $60 to her name. Now, 4 years later, 4 or 5 years later, I became Miss New Universe through work. You know, I made it, I succeeded. And I was in Playboy, and he saw me in Playboy. And he got my address from Playboy. And I was living in a little house right on the edge of Beverly Hills. A beautiful little house with a little garden with 2 bedrooms. Beautiful bungalow-like, but nice, really nice. 1860 Heather Court, if you want to look it up. 1860 off Coldwater Canyon Drive, off Heather Road, Heather Court, Heather, 1860 Heather Court. See, I got certain things, some addresses I remember. I don't remember every address where I ever lived, but I remember some of them. I'll tell you the first place I lived with the husband I married, the evil husband, the first husband. 16525 Santa Monica Boulevard. 16525 Santa Monica Boulevard. Right next to the pier. Right next to the Santa Monica Pier. 16525 Santa Monica Boulevard. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me, take that back. I made a mistake. That's when I was on Sunset Boulevard in Pacific Palisades. That was 16525 Sunset Boulevard. When I was in Santa Monica next to the pier, it was 1616 Ocean Avenue. Okay, get it straight. 1616 Ocean Avenue. Next to the Santa Monica Pier. That was the first place I lived. Am I done with Andre de DIENES? No, I'm still not done. He drops me off. So now he comes and he sees me at 1860 Heather Court. His jaw drops. He can't believe it. He can't compute. I left her on the street with nothing. And here she is. She's in Playboy, which I promised to put her in, but I didn't do it. Now she's in Playboy. She's Miss Universe. She's succeeded. And she's living in a house with a Lincoln Continental and a driveway and a live-in maid. What the fuck happened? Well, that was my heart, my power, my soul, my God, my guardian angels, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and all the saints. To be continued.